All right, gentlemen. Well, obviously, really nice to have you guys. You guys are obviously from all different parts of the coastal states, and the whole entire business development team under one roof, one podcast. Just want to make this nice and simple and set some introductions. So good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Sean.
Connor, tell me a little bit about who you are, where you're from, background.
Connor Galloway from Pelham, Alabama originally, which is Shelby County on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama. Growing up, played a little baseball, steered my focus from JUCO baseball to business. From there, got into the property management world of new developments, building teams, and just growth throughout the real estate world. And then shifted my focus when I moved to Texas to the legal side to help the same clients that I worked with through the real estate development or multifamily development rather, to help them through the insurance claims processes that sometimes has a negative effect on their ROIs on the investments that they have for these properties.
Nice. So you've been somewhat in the industry for a good part of your life.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Whole family has. Garrett has. Mom has. Yeah.
Nice. Tell me what your mom's done.
She has the tech side. So they sell the software for the leads. The leads being, the residents that end up living in that community. She is one of the regional sales managers for her company.
Oh, nice.
Within that avenue. Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
And Mr. Garrett Galloway, you guys are twins.
What's going on? Identical twins, 1 minute apart. Lucky to have a big brother like Connor.
He's the older one?
Yeah, he's the older one, but also the interesting, dynamic of us two is Connor's left-handed, I'm right-handed. Back to the baseball thing is, Connor was the all-star pitcher, and then I had the opportunity to be his catcher. So, it's always been this, dynamic duo, I guess you could say. And it's played, well into our favor through our professional career.
That's pretty badass. So you guys grew up together, but then played sports together?
Yes, yeah.
And now you're working together.
That's right.
So you guys, in a sense, are somewhat inseparable.
That's right. I mean, that's a good point. Putting the baseball terms of pitcher and catcher, we've piggybacked off each other through the multifamily development. We've developed two or so properties on the Panhandle together for the same company. Did those lease ups together hand in hand, which both of those lease ups ended up selling the communities under a year of the development, which is a positive in that multi-family development space. And now get to help bounce ideas off of each other, which kind of unfolds into greater things that we couldn't have done without each other. Right. That's right. Agreed. And like Connor was mentioning earlier, with our family growing up in this industry, really in like the real estate sector, I guess you could say, this started when we were about 19 years old. So, we knew we wanted to get our foot in the door. Obviously, you have to start from the ground and then build from there. So whether it was third-party management, HOA management, student housing, new developments, conventional lease-ups, what we saw is, I guess you could say, a niche or the, ability to bring this aspect into a world that it's kind of non-existent. When you say, there's never been a time when you were in that property management seat or I was, and a unit got affected and we were like, okay, well, I have, this law firm on, speed dial to ensure that I represent or protect this asset for this property owner. So what we did was we took the experiences that we had and then tailored our response or created a white glove approach back to those property managers or property owners from this seat, which is great. And I loved it because we now still get to serve that same industry, but have a complete understanding of what they're going through, because it's not easy. It's terrible, to say the least. Completely agree with that.
What you guys have, like, so now what you're saying is like you've kind of seen all aspects of the industry, and now it's like, hey, we want to be a resource to protect these big assets.
Yes.
But being on the other side of that, you know exactly how important those assets are, how the process works, how to manage these things, and again, just kind of cultivate a relationship with these property managers or HOAs or whatever, to, again, like you said, create a white glove approach on, how we can take care of you and become a resource.
And be that resource, yep. That's the key. I would say that's the key word for all three of us. Yeah. And one thing that I love about all three of us as well is instilling really just becoming that resource for, all facets of this industry, and not in a sense of like, oh, how can I gain business off of you? It's sincerely like, how do you create that everlasting relationship to where they have an understanding that, you're a human being just like the next person, and that you're going to give the same attention that they're going to give to their own asset, which obviously builds rapport and everything else, and carries a relationship that's, I feel like, could go 10, 20 years,
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. I appreciate what you're saying about the three of us. The idea, basically, the one word is like resource, and how do we become that resource to people? And because truthfully, at the end of the day, this isn't any disrespect, but I don't give a shit if you use us or not, right? We are the best. I think, there's no question that we're the best, number 2 in 2021, number 1 in 2022, again, number 2 in 23. It's like, so here's the deal. Like, if you want to use the best, that's great. And if you don't, cool, let's just go hang out and get a beer or whatever the case may be, right? We just want to be a resource and cultivate that relationship that, next time, we're an option for people. Right, so, right. Well, good. So got a little bit on you. Garrett, tell me a little bit about yourself, your personal self, what you do, what you enjoy, how you grew up.
Personal, like Connor said, grew up in Pelham, Alabama. We have the opportunity or the claim to fame that, Dabo Sweeney went to our high school. So shout out to Clemson. Shout out to Asher Sweeney. What came from that, like Connor was saying, we grew up in a sports family, which I think built the foundation for what was going to come in the future. And that's, not giving up, always pushing through the times that you don't believe you can, whether it's, that hot sunny day that you're having to run 100-yard dashers. But afterwards, you built this foundation that's going to continue through the next life or what have you. But from there, both of us kind of split ways. Connor went and played JUCO baseball. I took myself to good old Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That was one heck of a time, but it really did, create this foundation and the sense of property management and whatnot that led, further into my life. From there, we've lived in Florida, built a couple properties there, and then kind of fell into this industry from a good family friend. And ever since, we've loved it because day in, day out, you get the opportunity to have like a team bonding, with Kobe, Sean, Connor. You get to have that like family feel, but still the opportunity to serve others, which is like the key component of my life, is to truthfully just serve others, and everything else will, fall into place. But yeah, I would say that's it for myself. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I think, I've been here for 15-ish months, and you guys are, how long have you been here, Connor?
6 months, right at 6 months.
About 6 months. Same, yeah. So obviously I remember sitting down at dinner and kind of going through this, and one thing that I hear both of you continually say is, we're kind of relating everything back to sports and a team effort and all this stuff. And, when I started, I know that it was, I was like, oh, what the heck am I doing? I don't really know. You guys had a little experience in the past. But one thing that I, even at that dinner, you brought it up too. Like, this is all about the team. This is all about elevating each other. That motivational factor to hold each other accountable. Right. And so again, I think relating that to the industry currently is, I think what I've seen in the, again, very short period of time that I've been here in the industry is that it's always about, well, I'm going to do me and I'm going to get mine and I'm going to do all this. And it's like, well, does that really work? I think truthfully from what I've seen is that there's enough to go around for everyone. And, I think that whether you're a contractor or public adjuster or law firm, let's create an environment that we work together and really find like-minded individuals who do the right thing, who practice ethical standards and procedures. And once we establish who those players really are, then everybody else can kind of just take a back seat. So I see a big turn in the industry and big change in the industry. So anyways, that was a long story about me just appreciating you guys being.
No, yeah. Hey, Kobe, I need the fist in here. Come on.
Of course, Kobe. Kobe's always the man.
Yeah. It's been a breath of fresh air. We've been in this industry going on, I would say almost 2-ish years now.
2-ish years.
Two-ish.
Yeah.
This synergy here, people preach that word and they love once you just that first, week, month or half year, people are like, yeah. But this is daily occurrence. I want to hang out with you guys. I want to be around you guys. Everybody watching, you can't tell me you say that about your team every day. I don't care what you say. But we have that opportunity, so it's a gift. When you have, that gift in front of you, it's really eye-opening, and it's time to capitalize and continue to move forward and build as one unit, a band of brothers, and just keep pushing forward,
Right. Well, and I'd be lying to say there hasn't been some struggles on all of our ends, but to be able to have that vulnerability together and just say, hey, man, it's been a brutal week, and I'm struggling, and I'm not feeling really great, right? To me, owning a gym and being in that industry for 11 plus years at this point, that's the uncomfortable, the vulnerability, the tough aspects are what really puts you into that growth mode and fighting through that and being able to be on a team that supports each other. And I know I've called both of you guys and been like, fuck this week, man, what the heck happened? Am I doing the right thing? And then you're like, no, keep it up. And it's just, again, and then all of a sudden we have a killer. Last week, I think we had a pretty damn good week. A lot of great things rolling through the door. So I think, again, right, creating this team and having resources, whether they're in your same industry or different industries, I think is the real message. And I think that's what Daly and Black really tries to at least portray to within the firm.
Right.
It's like being our own HubSpot and people understanding that we are a resource. Whether you're sending us business-to-business deals, again, like you said, that's not really what we care about. But if we can put you in front of, the person that you're looking for, we will do that. No matter if that claim or that, that business transaction is coming through here. We just want to show that we're here to do the right thing and put you with the right person.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that's
a good point. Completely.
The right thing.
Yeah.
Right. The quote unquote, the right thing.
Yep.
And in this industry, these things aren't very policed and, as we all know, but at the same time, I think, that's really our message is how do we practice business ethically. And, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. If Connor doesn't send me a claim or doesn't call me on a question, no big deal, man, still love you. What, and, well, maybe, oh man, your percentage is too high. Well, you get what you pay for, man. At the end of the day, we're the best for a reason. And I think at the end of that, right, truthfully, it's because you do the right thing. And sometimes the right thing, you don't always prevail to get the most, right? And it's a learning curve, right? There might be some, pitfalls or speed bumps along the way. But I think, again, if you can put your head down at night and say, damn, I did the right thing. And even if it's not giving you that reward at the end of the day of X or Y, it doesn't matter because I slept pretty damn good from feeling like I did the right thing.